thing, like I said, my mom passed on. So from that moment on, I kind of, that was the time when I wanted to be famous. That's the time I started drinking and all that stuff. I was basically just far left of what God wanted me to be. So during that period, like I felt like, I tried everything, like I was a bit popular, a bit of money here and there, known, and then of course, when I want to drink, clubs will let me in. It won't be pressure guy. It's that guy from the TV show.
Like he's known.
So, but then I don't know. I just felt like, none of this is really, it just didn't make sense. It didn't add up. I didn't feel completion. And then, so from that moment on, my older sister told me about a camp meeting that was going on at Praise Christian Center, and that's where I gave my life to Christ. Yeah, so.
Okay, so now away from like your story, we want to know what's your creative process. Like, how do you create your music? How do you come up with music? Because we know that you have not only produced for yourself, but for other artists. I keep emphasizing on this one because a lot of people don't know that you have worked with Slab-D, Mag44, and these are huge names and they've won awards.
Right.
So I want to know how is your creative process like?
I mean, the creative process differs compared to the artist. I know guys like Mag44 maybe say, okay, I've got an idea, and then they'll give me a reference idea, then I make the beats, then they usually like it the first time, so then they do their vocals. But because you see, the thing is, with every song there is the visionary, So I guess for me the creative process starts by me asking who's the vision carrier of this song, And then the vision carrier, what happens is, you now say, okay, we follow the direction of the vision carrier. The one who's the owner of the vision will now determine what they want in the song. How they want the song to feel like. And my job as a producer is to make sure that their vision comes to pass with their song. So. But sometimes there are artists, like for an example, when we first started working with Esther, it's a vision that we both had to carry because she was just starting out. So even with regards to her style and things, would sit with Esther and say, okay, how do you want to be? And we'll look at all these different artists and say, okay, these are reference artists, and basically, we birth the vision together, But then, of course, there are artists who I found or who are already there. So, like like your Slab-Ds, they've already sort of pushed themselves out there. So he's already sort of clear about his vision and what he wants to achieve. So my creative process, of course, starts from the vision of the artist, the project, and then from there now you start working towards achieving that vision.
And then working with Karen, the song you did with her. Can you just give us a brief story, like how it all started? Because that was a song that really, I don't know if I can say the song that brought you to the limelight when it comes to Christianity and stuff.
Right. I think that I mean with Karen, I had released a song. I had released Vichani, just the lyrics. So it was an awesome experience.
You, looking at you, you're a very big name in the game, like not only in Zambia, but also on the international market. But what surprises me is how you manage to work with young people. How would you manage to incorporate them in your works and then bring them out? Like, we have seen the proof, we have seen Esther. Look, so how do you just do things?
I think part of my vision and calling is to bring people together. I don't know, I take a lot of pleasure in finding people who do different things, and we say, okay, look, these different body parts, we are able to make one body, So even with young artists, and so it always, I like to even collaborate, young artists, older artists, just sort of, it's just a passion.
Another caller. Hello?
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you? Hello, can you speak louder? We can't hear you.
Okay,
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Great. What's your name?
I'm Ruth.
Ruth. Okay, nice talking to you, Ruth. Do you have any question for me?
Thank you for the good.
I think the
Thank you.
network
I'll
is
assume
really bad.
the network is bad, but I assume you are saying good things about me. So thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ruth, for coming through. Let's talk about something that you have started on social media.
Yeah.
We don't see a lot of people open up or speak the truth about themselves because I don't know whether we're ashamed or I don't really know why people don't want to come out clean.
Yeah.
But you have started something that's called the hashtag Truth Tuesday.
Truth Tuesday, yeah.
Yes, where you tell the truth about yourself. And you're not ashamed.
Yeah.
I think the other video where the one I watched, you were talking about your addictions.
Yes.
Yeah. And I was wondering like, oh my God, who does that? Like, so what inspired the whole Tuesday, hashtag Truth Tuesday?
Yeah.
Yeah, what inspired that? Maybe before you answer, let's get this caller.
Sure.
Hello.
Yes. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning. Hello.
Hello.
We can hear you. Please go ahead with your comments or contributions. But before you do that, tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Name is Gail from where?
Okay. Please go ahead.
I wanted to ask Mag44. Yes, Mag44. Why are you not sick or international music?
Okay.
What are you?
Sure. I heard that. Your network was bad, but I heard you're asking why I don't collaborate with international musicians. Well, I do. I collaborate with them a lot. I mean, just recently I worked on The Truth. The Truth is an American artist. I don't know if you heard of him. Yeah, but he's a huge American artist. He's worked with Kirk Franklin, Ty Tribbett. Yeah, he's huge. Yeah. So I produced a beat on that project. There's another album he's doing. I think I've made several beats on that album also. Okay. So and also I've collaborated with guys like Sampa the Great, Sho Baraka, who's also a huge. He used to be part of 116. Yeah. Collaborated with artists from Uganda, Rionga. I mean. I've worked with a lot of
and
people.
you're still working with a lot.
Yes.
I think we'll get to that.
Sure.
But
no problem.
I think you still remember my question?
Yes, the Truth Tuesday. Yes. So with Truth Tuesday, I just wanted to be honest, because for me, I believe what makes a person is their integrity. Which is why God doesn't like lukewarm believers, because like you're hot but you're cold. It's like, what are you? You know what I mean?
Yes.
So for me, there are people who do the wrong thing and people who do the right thing, right? But the worst ones are the ones who are in the middle. You know what I mean? Those are the worst kind of people, because you can't trust them. At least the bad person, you would believe, you would trust the badness. You know what I mean? You would trust the goodness in the good people. So for me, I never want to be lukewarm. I never want to be. And the thing is, I'm a good person and I have bad things about myself. And for me, what I want to be is a person of integrity. That's my strive. And that's why I do the Truth Tuesday, to show people that, look, these are my issues. I'm not hiding anything. Even the Bible says, confess to one another. Yeah, sure. And I believe that a lot of spiritual leaders, and that's why people find it hard to become Christians, because they are thinking, these people are not real. These people act like they don't go through anything. Yeah, very true. So, and just because you are strong in, maybe you don't cuss or maybe you don't drink or smoke, you have like a thing. Yeah, there's like a thing. There's like a thing. Yes. True. Say it. You know what I mean? Say it. And the testimonies I'm getting from doing those Truth Tuesdays are big secular artists. Like, they are like, bro, that is my struggle. Yeah. That is my struggle. And so now you start to realize that, confessing your sin is not necessarily like a shameful thing. It can be something that liberates someone. You know what I mean? A testimony doesn't necessarily have to be, oh, I've bought a new car.
Yeah,
oh, I've got shine. You know what I mean? It can be just how you overcame sin today. Even how you failed.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Sometimes your failure can help someone to say, oh, okay, I see how he failed. I now know what to do better. Yeah. So that's what Truth Tuesday is about.
That's very inspiring, very encouraging.
Yeah.
In your own opinion, do you think the artists are doing enough in the government to empower the artists as well as to just make music a source of income and also empowerment to the young ones that are coming up? Yeah,
well, I mean, I think they are doing quite a bit. I mean, we've got that 30 million, which is, you know, supposed to help us out as artists, especially during this COVID time. I think that there is quite a bit being done. There could be more. There could be more. For me, obviously, you know, there's the mentality of where you look at things like, you say, okay, I think probably more money is pumped into like things like soccer than Zambian artists, which, you know, someone can argue and say, okay, you know, soccer players are doing things out there, you know, and Zambian artists, too many of them are keeping it local. But I think, you know, the only way we can be international is if we are given the platform to be international. So I think there is a lot more that can be done. There is our laws, our copyright laws, you know, they are there, but they are not solid enough.
Not being like
artists don't feel like they can trust in the systems that are being created. So a lot needs to be done, and there needs to be some sort of standardization of, you know, how things are done, proper systems, which, you know, we every day, you know, I mean, some sort of meeting where guys are working towards making these systems work. I, for one, started a music school called Music Loop Academy with two other friends. And, you know, for me, that's like, okay, we want to develop artists so that when we maintain a standard of how a good music producer should be, how a good sound engineer, how a good vocalist, and create this standard that, you know, enables the industry to be at a place where the quality is good. You know,
so we have a caller.
Okay. Leader is a servant. You know what I mean? You are serving people. You know, it's not. Yeah, a lot of people think they want to be boss. When they say I'm a leader, they are thinking about being a boss. Yeah, true. Which is completely, it's not the same thing.
No, it's not.
A leader needs to be, you have to be there for people. You know, you have to be there. I have a genuine concern for the people who follow you and want the best out of them.
Yeah.
And what people don't realize when they acquire all this fame, I tell a lot of secular artists, like, look, bro, you've got power. This is power. But you also have a responsibility. And you need to say, okay, what am I going to do with this power? How am I going to be of help to people? How am I going to be someone who makes my community a better place, you know? That's what that power is for. It's not just for, you know, we are meant to, you know, uplift everybody else and not, you know, sometimes with the way the world is set up, you know, with all this self-love and stuff like that, it's good, we do need to love ourselves, but the Bible says love your neighbor as you love yourself. You need to have that balance of doing both, you know. And especially when you're in a position of power, when you're in a position of leadership, use that to reach out to people and use that to help people, to uplift people. And you'll find that you'll find, first of all, more satisfaction in your life. You'll be more happy because you know that, okay, when I'm doing this, there are people who are actually, whose lives I'm bettering because of this. So so I think it's important how we look at that fame thing. Yeah, sure.
Okay. Do you ever feel like people misunderstand you, or there's something that people don't know about you that you would love them to know about you?
Misunderstanding, yeah, definitely. I think for me, you know, what I would want people to know is that There are a lot of things that are going through
Please
my mind.
tell us.
No,
That is
no,
why
no.
we brought you
But
here.
I want
because now we want people to know the truth.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
in on that.
I mean, well, like for me, I think that people don't understand a lot of the work that goes into, the things that we do. So it's always, I understand that people look at things on the surface, so they end up not really understanding, what goes on in the background to make these different things happen, from music, recording songs, producing, and all that stuff. So even my manager will tell you she gets the weirdest phone calls, and sometimes you sort of think like, but I've done so much work, done so much work, and you still don't understand what I'm trying to do, So it does get, I think that does get a bit frustrating. But even with regards to interviews, this is nice, that you're not asking the same questions as always, and when we talked about it and my manager was showing me, these are the questions that you'll be asked, of course we added our own, but then we kind of felt like, okay, this is good as it is, like this is, we want people to progress. We don't want people to be in the same place of not
Maybe you should
understanding.
hold your thought. There's someone who wants to ask you. I don't know if they have
Sure.
a question or anything.
Sure.
Hello?
Hello?
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm blessed, sir. Thank you. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
This is Penam Zamkan. I'm calling from Jamaica.
You're calling us from?
Jamaica.
John Lengi, I like that.
Okay, please, do you have any questions for Mag?
Yeah, I just wanted that, I'm a believer as my brother Ray is a believer as well, he's a singer.
Amen.
I really appreciate the work guys you are doing to the nation of Zambia and to the people out there that listens to the gospel, because it's all about Jesus, it's not about us. Yeah, I just want to talk about the film issue, whereby people want to be on top. My brother talked about being a servant. We need to understand who is a servant. You need to serve. You're not supposed to be a boss. So if I want to be on top, first thing I need to look at, who am I in class? Because class is a foundation, and I need to build on that foundation. So we are not building on that foundation, and I'm a blessing to you, you are a blessing to me.
Right.
So I don't have to see myself, progressing. I need first to think about others, because that's what Jesus did. He never thought of himself, but he thought of us. So, Zambian musicians, in terms of, I won't speak to secular, but I'll speak to gospel, because we talk about Christ.
Right.
They want to drive nice cars, they want, to have, bigger mansions, but the only thing that I can advise my brother and my sisters out there is faith. Jesus Christ is saying, first seek the kingdom of God and my righteousness, and the rest shall be added upon your life. So when we are entering into gospel industry, first, who are you? Are you a born again? Have you received Christ? Do you have the Holy Spirit that is going to guide you to speak what the Spirit wants people to hear? Because when someone is speaking, it's giving out, the song which has the message of Christ. It needs to have full of the Spirit, that when somebody listens, it's going to be converted. So please, to the people out there, Mag44, I was young when I started listening to him. I'm the 6-year-old, and I'm very much happy what you are doing. Please, let's speak the truth to the people out there.
Amen.
It's the truth that is missing to the platform, wherever that's what I am thinking, that's what I'm hearing, and I'm very much happy to hear you guys. I just tuned in to your station, and I found this page, and fortunately I have stopped them, and this is my contribution. Thank you very much, I appreciate it.
And thank you so much for coming through as well.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
That was awesome. Yeah, that was a great contribution.
I know it makes you feel good.
Yes,
that
it
you
makes me
have-
feel so good. I think I'm gonna wear my shades again.
Oh my God, I don't know what to say. Okay,
Yeah.
so now tell us what keeps motivating you and what can you say has been the proudest moment you've had, like your proudest achievement?
I think my proudest achievement, I mean, there are many, like I've said, like, you know, like there are so many, so God has been so good.
Yeah.
So I think it all just, you know, all boils down to just God's goodness. I think for me, my proudest, the thing that has made me feel the most satisfied is giving my life to Christ. I think that has been the most significant turning point of my life. It's bigger than any award I've ever won, any opportunity I've ever had to leave the country and sing to thousands of people. I think that has given me the most satisfaction, the most completion, even when things are rough and you're broke. The
Now,
fact
which
that I
brings
know,
us to the question, what keeps motivating you to keep working hard?
again, it's God. Because I'll tell you, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, there's different things. My family, there's people I love, and you know, I want to see the best for them. But I think at the end of the day, the one who gives me those desires, the one who gives me that drive, because I can tell you now, I mean, there are times when I've felt like things don't make sense, you know what I mean? But God is always the one who pulls me back, is the one who always lifts me back up. And I think for me, if I'm not doing it for God, to be honest, there's nothing I'm doing it for.
Nothing you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay, so now how do you separate your social media life from your personal life?
Which is what I'm trying to not do. I'm trying to keep it all as the same thing. Yeah, but it's tough because, you know, you wanna have some sort of privacy. But then, you know, again, I realized, like, okay, the people who follow me on social media, they are like my family. You know what I mean? A lot of people on my social media gave their lives to Christ because one day they heard a song of mine, or one day I spoke at an event and did an altar call. So there are all these different, you know, things that go on social media. And, you know, sometimes me pulling back can appear like I'm being fake, you know. So I try my best to be an example. Maybe what I try not to do is, you know, not put people on social media who are around me who don't want to be put there, you know what I mean? There are a lot of people who I work with who I'm not gonna put them there just because, you know, they are around me, you know. But I try to be as open as possible, because I realize that, look, my life
It's not
just for me. Yeah, it's an example to other people.
Yeah, true.
And, you know, and I want to be a good example. I want to show people what being a bad example looks like also. You know?
Now,
So,
talking
yeah.
about that,
Sure.
we all know everybody has got an inspiration. They have people that they look up to.
Right.
So we want you to just tell us who you look up to and what are some of the qualities that that person or those people possess that just make you look up to them.
I mean, there's a lot of people I look up to. I have many uncles. Like I told you, I've got a business partner, and his parents, they're amazing people. They are just like, I don't even know how to, they're amazing people. And I love them so much. I get so much advice from them. Right now, there's someone who's always just been an inspiration and always just been an encouragement. Pastor Mono from Praise Christian Center. He's an amazing person. I remember when we were starting out, when I remember giving my life to God, I think a week. The next week, Pastor Mono was like, hey, come and rap on stage in church. I'm like, sir, we just started this Jesus thing.
Like,
you know what I mean? Yes.
Yeah.
So, but then he's always been encouraging, always been a motivation. I love how he handles his family business, the way he's raised his daughters, who are amongst my best friends even, and who how he runs his family, how he takes care of his wife, everything, how he runs the church.
Okay.
So he's one of those men who's academically inclined, but also biblically he's gone through Bible schools. He's taught at Bible schools. He's just like an amazing person. I really look up to him. Yeah.
Okay. So unfortunately, time is not on our side. Sure. It's so jealous. But then there are a lot of people that would want to get in touch with you. They would also want to get your music. In as much as we have people that like downloading things for free, but we have genuine people that want to buy. So maybe you can just tell us where we can get your music, how we can get in touch with you.
Sure.
And of course, there's a book that you authored. If we would want to buy that book, where can we find the book?
Right now they are completely sold out. So I need to, obviously with the corona thing, it kind of made things difficult to export and to import. Yeah. So we are working on that. But if you want to get in touch, my social media has all the contacts you need. If you want to have music produced, there should be a number on my social media. If you want me to come for an event or whatever, all those contacts are on the social media, on my social media. So Instagram, it's at the name is Mag44. Same as Twitter, at the name is Mag44. Facebook, it's Mag44 Drums. Yeah, so you can go there, and all the information you need on how to reach us, it's all there. And yeah, so I think that's how I can say you can reach us. Yeah.
Okay. So your last remarks, a word of advice to the young people that want to get into music or just want to author books. Because
The Bible says we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. For me, writing a book was something that I shouldn't have even been thinking about, because I hate reading. I've probably, my manager can tell you, I think I've read one or two books in my life.
But you have authored the book.
Yes, but you see what I mean. So
strange.
It's a thing of where if you put yourself out there, you can get it done. There are a lot of jobs where people have said, "Oh, can you do this?" And I'm like, yeah. But in my mind, I'm like,
what am I doing?
You know what I mean? But then the good thing is there's resource, there's social, there's Google. You can YouTube how to do things. You can talk to people. You can make things happen. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to take on challenges. The worst that will happen is that you fail.
Exactly.
But
when you fail, you learn.
You learn. Exactly.
Yes, that's a good thing.
Yeah.